Joe, Gavin, and George, along with the rest of their family, have worked very hard to build their empire.
Wanted to create the ultimate party place.
Perhaps her performance was less than polished because of all the partying she got in Sin City rather than rehearsal time. Late Friday night, Britney hit 3 hotspots and was snapped at Caesar's Palace at Pure nightclub with P. Diddy. Saturday night, she hit the dance floor again. And last night, after leaving the awards, Britney was spotted at Noir nightclub until 2:30 this morning, where she apparently spent most of her time in the restroom.
Say, give Britney a break.
Give Britney or any woman or children.
25 years old, and she's already accomplished everything she's going to accomplish in her life. It's mind-blowing.
This is the MTV VH1 Viacom hit.
Please do not send any hate or honestly comments of any kind to anyone mentioned in this video on behalf of me or yourself. The purpose of this video is to give my commentary and opinion on matters of public concern. Thank you.
So fast forward, now we're in the fall, August 2007, and Britney hosts another event. This time it was the grand opening of a bar or a club called LAX, which was inside the Luxor.
Our celebrity guest superstar who's hosting tonight is here. Give it up for Miss Britney Spears!
Here's a People magazine article, and I did discuss this on my live from a couple days ago, might have been yesterday, but first she hung out with Criss Angel again. At Body English in the Hard Rock Hotel, Britney and her pals, who had a VIP table surrounded with 5 dozen roses, were joined by Illusionist. I'm happy they called him that. With whom she's been rehearsing. She was supposed to perform with him. He ghosted her, okay? But she's here rehearsing with him. Quote, she wouldn't stop dancing with her friends, and she looked great, an onlooker said. After about an hour, Britney left hand in hand with Criss Angel. Then P. Diddy hosted an event at the Pure nightclub. Now, Britney was there in January hosting an event. So now it's P. Diddy's turn to host an event at the Pure nightclub that's in the Caesar's Palace Hotel in Vegas. This is back in 2007. Then he comes up on the mic and makes the following statement. Listen up, we have Miss Britney Spears in the crowd, Diddy announced from the main stage at 2 a.m. on Saturday. So this is I can't help but consider this to be anything other than a P. Diddy party. I mean, I think people are even wearing, the white clothes and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I'm getting confused. But Britney had slipped into the club through a side door with 6 girlfriends wearing a strapless black mini dress. She held court in the VIP area, smiling, sipping champagne, and dancing barefoot on a couch. That sounds like the only thing I would be trying to do. It's just sitting with my friends and standing on the couch with no shoes on. At one point, Diddy got on the microphone and told the crowd, Britney, she holds her head up high, show some respect. To which Britney immediately put her head down and hid her face until Diddy started playing, or had the DJ or whatever start playing Britney's newly released song, Gimme More. So once they started playing Gimme More, apparently that was the trigger to make her stop hiding her face and to stand up and dance or whatever, which I don't know what that's about. She left the P. Diddy party around 2:30 a.m., smiling and waving to the crowd as she walked through a path cleared by security guards and headed to Noir Bar at the Luxor. So she keeps kind of hopping back and forth from the Caesar's Palace to the Luxor, from the Caesar's Palace to the Luxor. P. Diddy's opening a club, she's opening a club, they're going to Pure, he's going to Pure. It's kind of the same places, but maybe they just like those places, girl. I don't know. Anyway, the party appearance capped a busy day for Britney, who arrived in Vegas Friday and rehearsed behind closed doors in the Palms Casino Resort's Pearl Theater for her, quote, comeback performance. And that performance, and I had forgotten this, I don't know if I ever even actually knew it, was the VMAs opener. So I've always kind of blamed the VMAs for this setup of sorts and this sabotage, but now I'm realizing it might have also been a whole industry-wide web worth of people to set it up, because everybody knows that there has to be some event at the VMAs for people to talk about it. It's got to be Miley Cyrus with a foam finger. It's got to be Britney Spears with a yellow snake. It's got to be Kanye West about to let Taylor Swift finish, but then Beyonce had one of the whatever of all time or whatever. It's always got to be some event, and it's clear as day now in retrospect looking back, this was the event. The event was to humiliate and embarrass and sabotage Britney Spears Spears, who was already going through a tremendous amount of turmoil in her life. So she was supposed to open the VMAs. The hair people were sabotaging her. Criss Angel didn't show up. He had a whole illusion routine, and she just basically got thrown out there in a bikini by herself, naked on a stage. Anyway, then there's a quote from this weirdo that holds her purse about she's focusing on performing or something. I mean, I don't really know. He's such a plant, in my opinion. He's talking about how Britney is focusing on performing and she's in a more mature place, but it kind of isn't reconcilable with the fact that she's been club hopping for the last 3 nights in a row in Vegas or whatever. Anyway, so I think the next day rolls around, September 8th, and 50 Cent hosted a party and performed at the Hard Rock. Again, we've already been there. It's like one of the same places that they all go. And Britney is seen yet again partying with P. Diddy and her cousin, Allie Sims. But this time, Paris Hilton is there, and so is 50 Cent. Now, we do know that 50 Cent and P. Diddy have since had a falling out because they do not get along and they do not like each other, at least as far as public appearances are concerned. They also went to Cassie's 21st birthday party that same night at Jet nightclub, which is in a completely different casino, the Mirage. But here's some pictures from that night, and Britney's there with Diddy. I mean, there's this very strange picture of some man like picking her up. It looks like maybe she's not in full control of her faculties. There's a picture of her with Diddy and Cassie with her birthday cake. Remember, she's 21 years old. Now, at this point, is Diddy dating Cassie?
I feel like, yeah.
He had to be, because I think he signed her and started dating her like at the same time. So I think Diddy had already started dating Cassie. And again, it's like, you know, the tall tees, the white tees, Britney's there. She's got her fedora. Some of the pictures she looks like she's having fun, but some of the pictures she looks like she's not in full control of her faculties. And I just have to wonder, is that one of the alleged, you know, Ciroc bottles that had the special stash in it? You know, I don't know. I can't speculate even, but I do wonder. So the next day rolls around and Britney's rehearsing, and there's a lot of media drumming up. Like, Britney's gonna be at the VMAs. Britney's gonna do a comeback. Britney, like a drumming up. Britney spotted at rehearsals. Britney, like.
Are you looking forward to Britney doing her big performance?
I'm looking forward to Britney. I still love Britney. You know, even though everything that she's been through, I still love her, so.
I'm excited to see her now than I would have been a little while back. It's more exciting, right?
Britney could be a huge train wreck or a gigantic train wreck. Right now, it could go either way. I'm putting my money on it being mind-blowingly terrible in a great way.
It's the MTV Video Music Awards right in the middle of the Palms Hotel Casino in Las Vegas. Celebrities gathered to talk about Britney Buzz and their own nominations.
Everybody's just excited to see what she's going to bring. So, I mean, we're no different. You know, we're not an exception. We want to see what she's going to do. I mean, she got to top the snake. She got to top the kiss, you know, so she just got to bring it.
We're really, really excited. We really are hoping for the comeback of the millennium, if not the bi-millennium, whatever you call 2 millenniums.
Genuine. It's genuine. It seems forced. It's genuine.
I mean, we're all talking about it because we all in her personal business. I'm happy that she's doing music tonight so we can get out of her personal business and start getting back to the music. That's what it's about, you know what I mean?
I think it's great for her. I think I want to see her do good. I want to see her be the Britney she was, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's giving her bad press now. But I want her to come out on top and be herself and be good. So I'm rooting for her. She's my label mate.
She's become bigger than herself. You know what I mean? Just from the beginning, it was like this girl with blonde hair who sang and did pop records, and now it's this girl with blonde hair who sang and did pop records, had 2 kids, got me. You know what I mean? Like, we all know her story, and it's at times unfortunate, but at the same time, it's interesting.
We already did several episodes of BJ Investigates on the Britney industrial complex and just how there were like several entire economies that were propped up on just Britney Spears alone. We also mentioned it briefly in the Amanda Bynes coverage as well, but it's like they're drumming up their product to put out on the VMAs, and obviously they were gonna sabotage her the whole time.
Anything in the show tonight, or are you just sitting in the audience?
I don't even think I'm going to be in the audience. I'm just in the green room.
I'm just going to sit by the bar. And
I'm going to get wasted.
The 2007 Video Music Awards. Now it's time to head inside and see if Britney can have her big comeback.
So there's a few different rehearsals leading up to the performance of Gimme More. There's also speculation over MTV's sabotage with the camera angles. MTV knew what they were doing when they added the wide angle at the last minute. She looks better in a ponytail and jeans. I don't know why they finally released her with this hairstyle and clothes, but Britney is a legend icon anyway. So basically MTV edited the live performance to cut away whenever she did choreography sections and show only the pole dancers and cut back to Britney when she was transitioning between design moves, so it would look like all she did was walk across the stage and grind on her dancers the entire performance. This could have been a huge comeback with such a fresh and danceable song. WTF is the camera being used at the VMAs. She looks 15 pounds heavier than she is, and I don't know what happened to her hair, but it went a mess. Her people failed her, and the media made it look way worse than it was. She did perfect performances her whole life and gets 190% and everyone freaks out. She seemed more confident in the ponytail in the dress rehearsal and looked better. This performance was set to fail, and yet it's her most iconic performance. Yes, David. Cameras were not flattering. She was way skinnier than she appeared. Hair and costume were set to fail as well. It was all on purpose without her knowledge or having a say, but still iconic. And she wrote about it in her book, Blackout. The thing I'm most proud of in my whole career came out right around Halloween in 2007. I was supposed to perform Gimme More at the VMAs to help promote it. I did not want to, but my team was pressuring me to get out there and show the world I was fine. The only problem with this plan, I was not fine. Backstage at the VMAs that night, nothing was going right. There was a problem with my costume and with my hair extensions. I hadn't slept the night before. I was dizzy. It was less than a year since I had my second baby in 2 years, but everyone was acting like my not having six-pack abs was offensive. I couldn't believe I was gonna have to go out on stage feeling the way I felt. And then I ran into Justin backstage. It had been a while since I'd seen him. Everything was going great in his world, and he was at the top of his game in every way. And he had a lot of swagger. I was having a panic attack. I hadn't rehearsed enough. I hated the way I looked, and I knew it was going to be bad. I went out there and did the best I could at that moment in time, which, yes, granted, was far from my best at other times. I could see myself on video throughout the auditorium while I performed, and it was like looking at myself in a funhouse mirror. I'm not going to defend that performance or say it was good, but I will say that as performers, we all have a bad night. They don't usually have consequences so extreme. You also don't usually have one of the worst days of your life in the same exact place and time that your ex has one of his best. Justin glided down the runway into his performance. He was flirting with the girls in the audience, including one who turned around and arched her back, shaking her breasts as he sang to her. When he was sharing the stage with Nelly Furtado and Timbaland, so fun, so free, so light. Later that night, the comedian Sarah Silverman came out on stage to roast me. She said that at the age of 25, I'd done everything worthwhile in my life that I would ever do. She called my two babies, quote, the most adorable mistakes you'll ever see. I didn't hear that until later, though. At the time, I was backstage, sobbing hysterically. The newspapers made fun of my body and my performance. Dr. Phil called it a train wreck. I would like to see him put that outfit on. Even back then, I would like to see him put that outfit on, put them hair extensions in, on his clown ring growth pattern that he has, and go out and perform something. And then we'll compare Britney's performance to his. And he didn't even just have babies. So who's the real train wreck? Bald ass, head ass beat. Yep, gang stalking. It's exactly what it is. The whole performance was sabotaged. Again, Chris Angel, who she had been rehearsing with, who had been all in the media as they had been rehearsing, he ghosted, he backed out, abandoned her, neglected her. And you might be wondering, okay, what's the deal with Vegas? Like, why was Britney all up in the Vegas scene anyway? And good question. The answer is they have been trying to revive Vegas back to its 80s glory for a long time. I don't know if y'all knew this, but Mormons and the mafia set up Las Vegas so they could go over there and do whatever they wanted to do outside of, civilized society. But now it's been reincorporated back into civilized society, and we're uncovering all the debauchery that's been going over there as part of the ordinary course of business. In the mid to late 2000s, they were trying to drum up the Vegas party scene. They were really focusing on it a lot. Like we just discussed with P. Diddy, 50 Cent, Paris Hilton, all these people coming to Vegas. They didn't have to do that. They lived in LA or they lived in New York or whatever. They were coming there to party and to, I think, advertise Las Vegas so that more people would want to go there. American celebrity culture, like I said, was shifting their attention from the exclusive LA and New York nightclubs, and those nightclubs are also infamous, like the Viper Room, formerly owned by Johnny Depp, and the Bungalow 8, and they were being paid. Don't make no mistake, they were getting paid for these performances and these appearances, opening up the clubs, the grand openings, and all of that. So as a paycheck. And as an observer and pop culture historian looking back at this time, along the recession and rise of EDM electronic dance music, Las Vegas was also undergoing a sort of rebrand of its own for the upcoming celebrity-obsessed millennial and Gen X crowd. So in the early 2000s and even the mid 2000s up to the late, up to 2007, 2008, Paris Hilton and Britney Spears were really the north node of the compass, they were directing the crowd in what was cool and what was trendy. So Britney, Paris, P. Diddy, and other famous celebrities at the time were being paid for their appearances, to host parties. It also seems like MTV had started to sink their teeth into Vegas, shifting the venue for the VMAs around that time to Las Vegas from LA, and they would do it at the Palms Casino Resort. And that's where we want to put a little bow around the whole thing here, because there is a complete and total rabbit hole that one day I'm going to go down, and it has to do with these Maloofs.
What have you done to your casino here? It's all gone.
It's all gone. It's a special opportunity, chance of a lifetime, and here we are. And it's crazy, but you got to see the show. I mean, it's probably almost better to watch it on TV because there's so many different things. So I've TiVo'd it, and I can't wait to watch it.
We can't go down the whole rabbit hole today, but just know that they are huge names in Las Vegas. They are very rich. They have connections with Larry Rudolph, who was Britney's manager for 20 years, and Irving Azoff, who is the CEO of Ticketmaster / Live Nation / who knows however much else big it's going to get, because they're just going to keep letting them monopolize everything in the world. And that's why y'all got to pay $15,000 to sit at a Taylor Swift concert, but I digress. These Maloofs, they've owned probably people, to be honest, but what do I know? Sports teams, they've owned casinos, resorts, they've been $400 million in debt and somehow survived it. I don't know how. Regular people can't do that. But Britney Spears is strongly associated with these Maloof brothers, and they're like old creeps at this, but they're like old coots. They're like in their 60s at this point, like grandparent age. And what were they doing hanging out with Britney in 2007? It's very weird, but it's like one of them taught her how to play blackjack in Vegas when Britney was 21 years old. So that just goes to show that she's had a connection with this Vegas scene and these Vegas people for a long time. There's another article here that addresses whenever Britney did get married in Las Vegas at the little chapel or whatever, and she was actually staying at the Palms Hotel. The Palms Hotel is owned, or was at the time, by the Maloofs. It's widely known that one of these Maloofs, I guess it was George, they both look so disheveled all the time, hooked Britney up with a lawyer that would help her annul the marriage. But if you listen to Jason Alexander, the other half of that marriage, talk about this story, it wasn't hooking her up with a lawyer. It was a scheme. They had Jamie Spears come in, Lynn Spears come in, other people, Larry Rudolph, everybody was in, everybody was trying to figure out how to undo this marriage. And we've talked about this before. I believe the reason they were trying to undo the marriage in the first place was because they wanted control of her assets. They wanted control of her brand. It's hard to control somebody whenever they're legally married and their spouse is entitled to some of their assets. So yeah, he hooked her up with a lawyer. I'm not excited about that. It actually makes me suspicious. What lawyer came in and unraveled, probably hooked up himself with Britney Spears and hooked up Jamie Spears with a lawyer, is what I would guess. It's just so hard for me to separate all of the things that we have now found out from these lawsuits, other lawsuits with that Malaysian billionaire Joe Low. He financed The Wolf of Wall Street, which is a debaucherous movie in and of itself. He had Britney Spears jumping out of his 34th birthday cake or 31st birthday party cake during the conservatorship. Someone else legally agreed for Britney, because she couldn't legally, to jump out of a billionaire's birthday cake in Las Vegas. Then we have Britney Spears saying she never went out. All the time she was in Vegas for years, she went out once or twice ever. Like, why did they want her to party all that time in her 20s just to drum up the excitement for Vegas? And then she couldn't even enjoy it by going out whenever she was working as literally a slave in Las Vegas at these people's hotels, at least one of them. It's like, I'll fact check that. I don't know if they own the one she was at, but they like basically own Vegas as far as I'm concerned. And Live Nation, Irving Azoff probably had something to do with all of that. I mean, y'all, the web is unraveling. The web is webbing. And as the more I pull on the little bottom string, it's just uncoming. And it's like the people that I'm running into, like now we have this P. Diddy and Britney Spears connection. And it's like, wait, I've read these lawsuits, what Cassie said she was having to engage in, these freak offs for days on end. She would have to get IVs. She was physically hurt. She would have to get IVs because she was so dehydrated from being forced to do this. It was being filmed. It was being recorded. Then we have Lil Rod Jones making the same allegations, all against P. Diddy. And you have a passing out on the floor, Britney Spears in the most vulnerable position of her life at a party where Cassie is. Things to think about. It's just things to think about. And we could close it off with this other clip of Young Miami. I'm just gonna let her speak for herself.
So how many rounds you be going? you know.
Baby, let me tell y'all something. On the witch yacht. This nigga don't go to sleep. I be like, God damn. I'm gonna tell y'all something. For real. I really thought that I was gonna like make him tap out. Like I really thought he was gonna be being out no chance. This nigga don't go to sleep. Like I be like, nigga, go to sleep. You gotta be energized, you gotta be charged up like a Tesla.
When you going off the grid with me, you gotta go to sleep for a week.
Yeah, because it's definitely giving us sleep.
That's all I really had for today. Make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are on so that you can see the next installment of The Web. It might have something to do with a certain love triangle. Facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye. This is how they do it. It is a hit. It's a hit. It's a targeted individual conspiracy hit. It's what it is. I mean, it just clearly is what it is. That thing, and she didn't even go into all the details about that night with the Gimme More and the 2007 and all that. Like it wasn't just that like stuff was going wrong with her hair extension. No, the hair extension people didn't show up to fix her hair. She was supposed to be performing with like David Blaine or one of those dudes. Didn't bother to show up. There was like whole acts that didn't happen. And she had to like basically just learn a dance that day. Then you have Justin Timberlake not accidentally running into her. That wasn't an accident. That was orchestrated. You mean to tell me nobody knew out of both of their handlers where Justin was and where Britney was? No, hell no. They crossed their paths on purpose just to F with her because they needed people to be talking about the VMAs. This is the MTV VH1 Viacom hit is what it is. That's how they operate. They doing the same thing to Bam Margera right now. Hello, it's the same people. Anyway.
Y'all know damn well that Lindsay Lohan and Jessica Simpson was not using no Proactive. So Diddy was Proactive. Now, y'all into skincare products. Now y'all think it's official. Well, I got a secret. I was up on Proactive for 7 years. That's why I got the silky smooth cocoa butter skin. So Lindsay, Jessica, you're late. You should have followed my pretty ass from the beginning. But now you're late.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for checking out the channel. What you just saw was actually a clip from a larger video that I just did. Or maybe I did it a while back. Depends on when you see the clip. If you want to see the full video, check the description box. It'll be linked down there. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications on, and make sure you didn't get inadvertently unsubscribed. That's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, and neither are opinions, girl. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.
BJ investigate, she gonna find the truth. She gonna crack the case here. It's not a lie when it's paperwork. She will expose the truth. Daily updates for you. Better subscribe like I knew you would. We gotta stand for what's right. We gotta do for the good, yeah. I don't know what y'all have heard. That surprise witness got the word. We don't believe in Scientology. I do not need your mind control on me. We don't need your conservatorships, no. We doing right what's right for the kids. Whoa.
Y'all cannot control me. I control my own mind. You could've controlled me then. Still not in this lifetime. Can you send us down the pink angel from the heavens of truth? You don't want to debate with BJ. Studying law is what she do.